Welcome to ACST Technology's Enabling the Changing Catholic Church podcast.
Hello, I'm Terry Poplava, host of the Enabling the Changing Catholic Church podcast at ACST Technologies, and today I'm talking with Chuck Salter, who's our VP of Mission Advancement and Mission Insight, and also an ordained Methodist minister, and with Lois Locey. Dr. Locey is the Chancellor for Administration in the Diocese of St. Petersburg. Welcome, Chuck and Lois.
Good to be here.
Good to see you.
I'm so glad we're able to talk about this. We've got a couple of topics in this idea of using data to help parishes strengthen ministry. I look forward to getting into it with you. The first one is this idea of this topic that's called contextual intelligence. And we occasionally hear about cultural relevance. We hear about community intelligence. There's a bunch of different words being used, and even in some of the findings, the national findings from the Synod, the USCCB report talks a lot about cultural challenges that we have and how the church how the people of the church desire to find ways to serve all of us. All of this becomes part of culture, I think, internally and externally. Chuck, this is near and dear to your heart. Can you help us unpack these dimensions and what it might mean?
Well, in the simplest sense, I think it's understanding what's happening around us. It's the signs of the times and knowing what in the world to do with a very changing environment around us. So contextual intelligence, a little bit different than community intelligence. It really says we need to understand the parish. We need to understand the community. Are we like or different from the community? What does that mean? Are there opportunities to be more like the community when we think about the parish? So I believe it's having a better understanding of attitudes and beliefs and what people are thinking, their life concerns, and reflecting upon that to direct mission and ministry ultimately.
So that's interesting. I think a key point there at the end that it's an opportunity, you said, to direct mission and ministry. So it is a way of identifying maybe where mission opportunities are. Am I interpreting that properly?
Yes. Well, not only the where, certainly the where is important because one neighborhood is different from another. That's the other challenge in our environment. In an urban center like St. Petersburg, for example, you can drive 2 blocks and see a very different neighborhood. Right, Dr. Locey? And
absolutely.
2 more blocks. So contextual intelligence is understanding what's different about the neighborhoods, looking at your own parish and asking the question, how can we build relationships with people in these neighborhoods? They're unique. They communicate with the world differently. They may or may not be people of faith. And so that's a challenge, not only for Catholic Church, but for churches in general.
So, Lois, this seems challenging to me. I don't think it really means we're changing the core dogma of who we are, right? It's really about understanding who's out there.
Exactly. And this is a powerful tool that God has gifted us with. And the bishops of Vatican II actually told us that we, not that we should, but we must use tools such like this. They actually said in Gaudium et Spes that in pastoral care, sufficient use must be made not only of theological principles, but also of the findings of the secular sciences, especially psychology and sociology, so that the faithful may be brought to a more adequate and mature life of faith. So I look at this as these are tools that we could use, that the parishes and dioceses can use to help learn about their neighbors, and to bring people into, to meet them not only where they're at, but to take them to a deeper level in a relationship with God and others.
Oh, thank you, Lois. Yeah, and you're referring to Mission Insight as the tool.
Yes.
Which is we didn't explicitly say it, but it is a software package that ACST offers. In this conversation, we'll probably continue to reference that, but we're talking about the power of what it provides to help you understand your community. And I think this, but Lois, is it typically the first thing we hear parishes talk about when we talk about contextual relevance or community?
No, it isn't. Usually they probably will look only to within themselves and seeing what or things that they might like or feel personally drawn to.
Yeah.
Not really looking at, well, who are they trying to bring closer to the faith or closer to God? Or who are they trying to reach out to? Not only within their own community, like within their own congregation, but within the larger community. So they're not thinking that.
No, generally, Chuck, what we hear, I think, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. We are in need of evangelizing ourselves in Catholic parishes. Pope John Paul II helped sort of bring that back out for us and restate the new evangelization, the idea of what we need to do. But there's a balance that needs to happen with the external community and our internal community. That's really what we're speaking about here, right, Chuck?
Yeah, it is. One of the things as a Protestant, but a Protestant that's worked with Catholics for 25 years, one of the things that I shouldn't be surprised, but when the word community is used, it often means the parish, not necessarily the external community. So for a Protestant, that is involved in engaging people externally, when I think of community, I automatically think about the external side of things. So that's somewhat normative. The other thing that we feel is important today, this is context of our times. In most parishes, 60 or more % of the people who live in the parish boundary or the area of ministry service are not churched at all. So all kinds of opportunity for the Roman Catholic Church in many ways to offer something powerful and unique to people that are the nuns. They're the people that may not nuns of the Catholic Church, nuns meaning not being involved in their faith in any way.
That's so. Lois, how do we prioritize that though, internal versus external? Do you where do you see the balance?
Well, I see it that it's something that's parallel. We can't really neglect, the internal, because each day, first, you have the external world, the secular world that is kind of crashing upon us and actually taking our members. That's called secularization or moral relativism and all of that. So we're in a constant battle to make this a relevant for our people who are committed.
Sure.
So that is a priority, but I think because our Pope has asked us to be missionary disciples, that we are asked now to prioritize this, to make this in everything that we do, constantly looking at ways to reach out to the external, to all the souls, not just those that are registered.
Yes, well, and the Great Commission calls us from the very beginning to be a missionary church. I think it's very exciting, very interesting for us these times to be contextually relevant, contextual intelligence, knowing both who it is that makes up our current membership base, our current parishioners, and then who's in the surrounding community, and how do we reach both? How do we become engaging and inviting in a way that helps bring everyone to Christ? Great talking about this with you. Thank you so much.
Join us next time on Enabling the Changing Catholic Church.